Hey there, let's talk about something that can be a real pain in long distance relationships, money issues. I've got 5 ways to help you deal with this stuff, so listen up. First off, you gotta have a chat with your partner, like a real honest conversation about money. It might feel awkward, but trust me, it's better than letting things build up and explode later. Sit down, maybe over a video call, and just lay it all out. How much you earn, what your expenses are, and what your financial goals are. It's not the most romantic talk, but it's super important. Once you've had that talk, try to come to an agreement. Maybe you decide to split costs for visits, or one person covers flights while the other handles accommodation. Whatever works for you both. The key is to be on the same page and feel like it's fair. Now here's a tip that might sound a bit weird at first, but hear me out. Open a joint bank account. Yeah, I know, it sounds like something for married couples, but it can be really helpful in long-distance relationships too. Use it for saving up for visits or for shared expenses. But here's the important part, keep your own separate accounts too. You don't want to lose your financial independence, and it's good to have your own money for personal stuff. Look, I know we all want to believe that love conquers all, but let's be real, money is important. Don't ignore it thinking that love is enough. I've seen relationships fall apart because people tried to put love first and completely neglected the money side of things. It's not pretty, and it usually ends badly. So deal with the money stuff head on. If things are getting tough financially, don't bottle it up. There's nothing wrong with opening up to your partner when it's too much to bear. Maybe you're struggling to afford visits, or the cost of constant calls and messages is adding up. Whatever it is, talk about it. Your partner might be feeling the same way, and together you might find solutions you hadn't thought of alone. Lastly, and this might sound obvious, but try to choose the right person in the first place. If you're with someone who truly loves and trusts you, money issues are way less likely to be a problem. I'm not saying you should choose a partner based on their bank balance, but someone who's responsible with money and understands your financial situation can make a huge difference. Now, let's get into some practical stuff. When you're dealing with money in a long-distance relationship, you've got to get creative. Maybe you can find free or cheap ways to stay connected. There are tons of apps out there for video calls, messaging, even watching movies together online. Use them. Another thing to consider is setting a budget for your relationship. Yeah, I know, budgets aren't sexy, but they can really help. Figure out how much you can afford to spend on visits, gifts, and communication each month. Stick to it, and you'll avoid a lot of stress. Here's a fun idea, why not have some friendly competition? Set savings goals together and see who can reach theirs first. The winner gets to choose the activity for your next visit. It makes saving money feel less like a chore and more like a game. Remember, it's not always about spending money. Sometimes the most meaningful gestures are free. Write each other letters, yes, actual handwritten letters. Send silly photos or record voice messages. It's the thought that counts, right? Now let's talk about visits. They're probably the biggest expense in a long-distance relationship. Try to plan ahead as much as possible. Look for deals on flights and accommodation. Maybe you can stay with friends or family to save on hotels. And when you're together, mix expensive outings with cheaper or free activities. A picnic in the park can be just as romantic as a fancy restaurant. Here is something that is easy to forget. Make sure you are both investing in your own futures too. It's great to save for visits and stuff, but don't neglect your personal financial goals. Whether it's paying off debt, saving for a house, or building an emergency fund, keep working on those things. It'll make you both more financially stable in the long run. Speaking of the long run, it's good to talk about your future plans. Where do you see yourselves in a year, 5 years, 10 years? How does money fit into those plans? Having a shared vision can help you both stay motivated when dealing with current financial challenges. Don't forget to celebrate your financial wins together. Did one of you get a raise? Manage to save more than expected this month? Pay off a debt? Share that news with each other and be proud of your achievements. It's important to acknowledge the progress you're making. Now here's a tricky one. What if one of you earns significantly more than the other? This can cause some tension if not handled well. The key is to be understanding and find a balance that works for both of you. Maybe the higher earner covers more of the travel costs, but the other person contributes in other ways, like organizing activities or cooking meals during visits. Remember, money issues can bring up a lot of emotions. If you find yourself getting frustrated or upset during money talks, take a step back. It's okay to pause the conversation and come back to it when you're both feeling calmer. The goal is to work together, not against each other. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek advice if you need it. Talk to friends who are in long-distance relationships, or even consider speaking with a financial advisor. Sometimes an outside perspective can be really helpful. At the end of the day, dealing with money in a long-distance relationship is all about communication, trust, and teamwork. It might not be the most exciting part of your relationship, but handling it well can make everything else so much easier. So go on, have that money talk, and keep your love and your wallet strong.